whole night through. Nightmare, ooh, nightmare, ooh, the night when the full moon shining, it sure is bright. The wolfman's following me tonight. Nightmare, stop haunting me. Nightmares, stop haunting me. Nightmares, stop haunting me.
Well, I'm all set.
Must you go tonight, Carl? Can't you leave it till the morning?
No, I'm afraid I can't. My appointment's in the morning. I'll have to drive all night to make it.
When will you be back?
I don't know. We'll have to see how it works out. I'll phone you.
Did you say goodnight to the kids?
No, I was just going to.
Good night, Daddy.
Goodbye, darling.
Don't forget to ring me when you get there.
I will. Goodbye, darling.
Bye. Drive carefully.
Yes, right.
The removal men came this morning.
Yeah, well, so I see.
Should all be there by the time we get there.
Yeah.
Shame to give up a nice flat like this.
Yes, I know that, darling. But we've both had to give up quite a bit, haven't we? I love you, Susan. You know that, don't you?
Yes, of course I do.
You meet someone and suddenly that's it. I kiss my kids tonight and... Oh, for hell's sake. I mean, it will be worth it, won't it, for both of us?
Of course it will. You are tired. Let me drive.
Yeah, okay. No. No. No! sorry. Bad dream. Look out! Susan. Susan, where are you?
Crazy fool. Do you want to get yourself killed?
Darling. What's the matter? Look, pull yourself together. What's the matter? Come on now.
Yes?
Susan,
Who is it?
it's me, Carl.
Carl? It can't be.
Can't be? What do you mean?
Carl was...
Where have you been?
Please go away.
Look, I've been worried out of my mind. What's happened? The furniture. I don't understand. How did...
I brought it back after the crash.
Huh?
And I was blinded.
Blinded?
And Carl was killed.
Huh?
2 years ago.
I'm sorry. Bad dream.
Somewhere along the line of your life, you've met them. You have come in contact with the shadow people. When did we first discuss it? Oh, yes, Brian and Elaine and I. It was in my apartment. There was only one light on in the entire place.
Oh!
What's wrong? Elaine, what's the matter?
Oh, it's silly, I know, but I thought I saw something in that doorway over there.
Where?
Over there, right over there. Where are you going, David?
Over to that archway, just to let you know that nothing's here.
Huh. You see, Elaine, nothing's wrong, nothing at all.
Are you satisfied that there's no one else here but us?
Yes, Oh, I'm sorry. I just thought that Leave the overhead lights on.
I'm sorry. I thought that...
Put them back on, David, please.
All right, Elaine.
Look, what's bothering you, sis?
I don't know. It's just that... I don't know.
Tell us about it, Elaine. Tell us what's bothering you.
You promise that you won't laugh at me?
Of course not.
Brian?
Oh, Elaine, I'm your brother. If something's troubling you, I'd like to know about it.
All right, then. The reason I was so upset was the fact that I saw someone or something standing in that archway.
But, Elaine, David showed you that there was no one else in here. When the lights were put on, you saw for yourself that we were alone.
I'm not talking about something you can see in the light, Brian. I'm not talking about a human being.
Then what's it all about, Elaine?
In the darkness, I saw something that can't be seen in a lighted area. And I've seen it several times before.
You're sure you're not imagining this, Elaine?
Oh, I don't have that good an imagination, Brian.
How long have you seen this thing, Elaine?
Well, it started about 6 weeks ago. You were in Detroit on business, Brian. Mom and Dad were on vacation. I was in the house by myself, in the library. There was only one light on. I sat in the chair beneath it, reading. Several times I thought that something was watching me. I felt there was someone in the room with me, standing right in back of me. Every so often I'd glance back over my shoulder, but there seemed to be nothing there. Then I thought I heard someone whispering. I wasn't sure, but when I heard it again, I got up and I looked all over the house. Oh, I'm not easily frightened, you know that, but out in the hallway, it was almost entirely black. Luckily, I was near a light switch. I looked back over my shoulder, and I saw this huge, hulking shape for the first time. And I heard a voice, or rather the whisper of a voice. I couldn't distinguish the words, but that dark shape seemed to be moving towards me. My hand was on the light switch, and I turned it on. In a minute, the light flooded the hallway. The shape was gone. There was nothing there. I was alone again. As long as there's light, I know it can't hurt me. I know it can't reach me.
You might have imagined it, you know.
Of course, that's possible, but I'm sure I didn't. It was so real. So real, that shape in the darkness. It was the very essence of evil itself.
There was an old man I knew of, a Dr. Hesedius. I'd heard that he knew quite a good deal about the supposed supernatural manifestations which had taken place in the world. I went to him to see if he knew anything that might explain the events of the story Elaine had told us.
Yes, my good sir. What do you wish?
I have an appointment with Dr. Hesedius.
Oh, yes. He mentioned something about it. You are Mr. Drake.
Yes.
If you'll come inside.
Thank you.
Dr. Hesedius is in the study. Please come with me. Doctor, a visitor for you.
Oh, yes. Bring him in. You may go now.
Yes, Doctor.
Mr. Drake?
Yes.
Sit down, please, in that chair over there.
Thank you, sir.
Now, what is the nature of your visit to me?
Well, I understand, Dr. Hesedius, that you have a great knowledge of the supernatural manifestations which have occurred on the earth.
Great knowledge, Mr. Drake? No, hardly that. I have only scratched the surface in my years of study. Perhaps I can help you. Then again, perhaps I cannot.
Well, may I tell you the story?
By all means, my good sir.
All right. Now, this didn't happen to me, Doctor, but to my fiancée. It seems that about 6 weeks ago, when she was alone. But when the light was on, the dark form disappeared. And that's the story, sir. As much of it as I can remember.
I see. It's a strange tale you tell.
I'm fully aware of that, Dr. Heselius.
You say she seemed to hear whispered voices?
Yes, that's what she says.
I see. A moment, please. I have a book in my files. Oh, yes. Here it is. I think this is the one. Yes. Perhaps I may be able to help you after all. Let me see. This is a very ancient book, Mr. Drake. I seem to remember... Yes. Here is an account of a happening such as you relate. And we shall live on the earth, and they shall
not see us. Yes, it has been foretold by the ruler of the darkness. They who live by day, retire to sleep by night, shall never know that we walk with them, that we watch them, that we wait for our chance. Only in the night will they see us, for in the daylight we are not seen. Only in the night, when the darkness grows together and the forms of the shadow people are shaped from the blackness, they will know us.
Then they will know that we are their companions, for we are the shadow people. I knew I had read something similar to the story you have told me, Mr. Drake.
Dr. Heselius, what can we do?
Well, give me a little time. Let me see if I can find any more references to these people of the darkness. One more thing, Mr. Drake.
Yes.
Be sure that your fiancée is never left alone at night. Be sure that there is some living thing, animal or human, which accompanies her every second of the night. For she is in danger, Mr. Drake. A terrible danger.
That night, the night of the day I had seen Heselius, Elaine's mother died. She died in her sleep. When she failed to appear for breakfast, Elaine's father went upstairs to see what was wrong. When he entered her room, he discovered that she was dead. The family doctor couldn't explain it, for Elaine's mother had been in perfect health. A few weeks later, I was out at the house spending a weekend with them. I glanced at the clock on the mantel, and it showed 11.
I can't understand why Brian hasn't returned from town.
Well, he said he had some extra work to catch up on. He told me this morning that he might be late.
Well, 11 o'clock, I'm going upstairs. Glad you came out, David. It's good seeing you again.
It's a pleasure to be here, sir.
Well, don't stay up too late. See you both in the morning. Good night.
Night, Dad.
Good night, Mr. Davis.
He isn't the same, David. Ever since Mother died, he hasn't been the same.
I didn't realize that until tonight. He's changed.
I only hope that he'll start living again. Ever since she died, it seems that a part of him died with her.
Elaine, have you seen anything else since you spoke to me last?
No, I haven't. Ever since Mother died, nothing's happened.
Well, I only hope that... It came from upstairs. Come on.
You don't think...
I don't know what to think. I only hope that...
David, if anything's happened to him...
We'll see in a moment.
There's no light in his room.
You wait here, Elaine. Where's the light?
Over to your left. David, what's wrong? Why didn't you leave the light on?
Your father's dead, Elaine.
No. No, I don't believe you.
It's the truth, Elaine. There's nothing more I can do. We'll have to notify the police.
Tell me it's not the truth, David. Tell me it's not true.
I'm sorry, Elaine. I wish I could. Your father's dead. After the burial, Dr. Heselius got in touch with me. He said that he wanted to meet both Elaine and Brian, that he wanted to talk to the three of us. Accordingly, a few nights later, he came out to their house.
Miss Davis, will you tell me just when you saw the first manifestation?
The night Brian was in Detroit.
Now, Miss Davis, you have even seen this apparition in the company of other people. Is that correct?
Yes. The night at David's apartment.
All right. Now I'll tell you what I think. You are in deadly danger, Miss Davis. These beings want to claim you. So far, they have had no success. Only in the darkness do they have power. Little by little, step by step, they have been removing the obstacles in their way to reaching you. First your mother, and then your father, Miss Davis. Both died in the same fashion. In the darkness, death struck at them. Now tell me, do you feel their presence here in this room as I talk to you?
Yes.
Turn out the lights, Brian.
But no.
Stand by the switch, if you please, Brian. If anything happens, turn the lights back on.
All right.
Dr. Heselius, I don't...
Do you want me to continue working with you?
Yes, sir.
All right, then. Brian, turn off the lights.
Yes, Doctor.
The room now is in darkness, Miss Davis. Do you feel or see anything?
No, Yes. Yes, I do.
Do you see anything?
Yes.
Doctor, I don't...
Be quiet, you fool. I know what I'm doing.
In front of me. The darkness gathering together into a huge, terrible...
Not only do you see us, Miss Davis, but everyone else in the room also will see the vague shapes forming themselves in the blackness. We do not want you, Dr. Heselius. The girl we want. We advise you to drop this case. You'll only bring down the wrath of the shadow people upon your head. The girl. We want the girl. Do not stop us. Let us take her now.
Turn on the light!
They're gone.
Miss Davis, are you all right?
Yes. Yes, I am.
Just as she said. The darkness. I saw it form into something, too.
So did I. What are we going to do, Dr. Heselius?
At the present moment, I don't know. But this much I do know. You must leave this house immediately. You must try to get out of their reach. I don't know if that is possible. I hope it is. I shall have to return to my home. I must learn if there is some manner by which we can defeat these creatures. For the moment, leave this house. Dispose of it in any manner you may see fit, but leave this house.
We spent the night in my apartment, the three of us. The following day, Brian and Elaine made arrangements to dispose of the house. In the afternoon, Dr. Heselius called me and asked that I come to see him.
David, I'm glad you're here.
Anything new, Doctor?
Yes and no. You realize, of course, that this spiritual manifestation is not new, that it has gone on for centuries.
No, I wasn't aware of that.
It's true, David. De Maupassant wrote what was supposedly a fiction story about the manifestation, David. He called it the awhile. However, according to the information here on my desk, it was taken from an actual case history. Of course, he embroidered the story, added a few touches to something he didn't realize actually existed.
But have you found anything with which we can fight them?
Everything depends upon an answer I received from a colleague of mine in Paris, Dr. Henri Renaud. I dispatched a telegram to him last night.
Why hasn't he answered by now?
There are certain things that must be done. It will take a few days, I'm afraid. We have to wait, David. There's nothing else we can do.
In the next few days, the house was sold, and Brian and Elaine moved into a newer, more modern home a few miles from my apartment. Celia said it might take a few days for them to build up their power. I spent the nights at the new house. The lights were left on, and I watched for any unusual occurrence. In the daytime, I'd return to my apartment and get some sleep. About 4 days after Elaine and Brian moved into the new house, I was at home when Heselius phoned me. Hello?
David?
Yes, Dr. Heselius?
I hate to tell you this, David.
What's the matter? What's wrong?
They were a step ahead of me, David. I just received word that Renaud died or was killed at the very moment I sent the telegram to him.
Step by step, they had outwitted us. For they had anticipated every move we'd make. Even Dr. Heselius was at a loss as to what to do. He agreed to meet me at the Davis house.
What did you want to see us about, Dr. Aselius?
Did you find out anything more?
I'm sorry to say that I haven't. At the moment, I'm at a complete loss. I don't know what to do.
But what did you want to see us about this evening?
Merely to check, to see if anything else has happened. Miss Davis, have you seen or heard anything?
Not in the house. Only in my dreams.
Your dreams?
Yes. When I go to sleep at night, in my dreams, in the darkness, I see them.
And it's grown worse, much worse. I was hoping that it would not have progressed so far. There has been no disturbance in this house, but now they disturb your sleep, Miss Davis. Now, you must stay awake for as long as you can. I want the three of you to move into my house. Perhaps that will give you more protection.
That night, we moved over to Aselius' house. Perhaps Elaine would have more protection there. From there, we might be able to devise some plan of action, some way to beat those beings. For a few days, things were quiet. The shadow people seemed to have withdrawn. For a while, I thought that we might have succeeded in thwarting their purpose. Elaine no longer complained of troubled sleep. But that condition lasted for a few days only. About 10 days later, they made themselves known and felt again. That night, we were in the study, when suddenly Aselius whirled around and...
Elaine, what are you looking at?
Outside the house. Right where the light leaves off, I see them.
She's right, Dr. Aselius. I can see them, too.
What should we do, Doctor?
Nothing.
What do you mean, nothing?
There's nothing we can do.
We can't just...
We can't do anything, Brian. Don't you understand that they have us at their mercy? The greatest man in my field was Henri Renault. If he could do nothing against them, what do you think we can do?
He's right, Brian. There's nothing we can do.
As long as the house remains lighted, just so long will they remain outside. If the lights were to...
That sounds
When
like...
my father was killed, the same sound. We heard the same sound.
The lights. What's happened to the lights?
I don't know.
Be quiet, please. I thought of this emergency.
A candle.
That's right, Miss Davis. As long as this burns, this one candle will be safe. For they cannot advance into the light. They are limited by the darkness. As long as the candle burns, they will have to remain outside of this room.
Around you, in every room of the house, in the darkness outside, we are around you. This time you shall not escape. This time we will claim you.
Take it easy, Brian.
I can't stand it. I'm getting out of here.
Brian, come back!
Don't be a fool. I'm going after him.
Stay here.
We just can't let him
He
go.
won't have a chance. I doubt it. Miss Davis, I'm afraid that your brother is dead.
The wind, Doctor. Listen to the wind.
I know.
Yes, Doctor, listen to the wind. You must realize by now that the three of you haven't a chance. You must know in your minds that we can destroy you at any moment we desire. But, Dr. Aselius, you may still save your own life. Let the others go. Give them to us.
No. No, you will have to take all of us.
Shall we destroy your light? Shall we move in on you now?
As you will. Do as you will. I'm sorry, David. The candle is out.
In the darkness, the figures in the darkness. We warned you, Aselius. You and the others are dead now. And we shall live on the earth. And man in the day shall not see us. They will know that we wait for our chance. That we walk with them. Only in the night, when the darkness grows together, And the forms of the shadow people are shaped from the blackness will they see us. Then they will know that we are their companions. Look next to you. There, in the shadows.
Hey, Joe, drag your foot, boy. Look what we got here. Hey, you want to drag, huh? Sure. Come on, man. Get ready.
I'll show him how to drive. Just watch me.
Sir, as high as this river is right now, and with all the mud and sand it's carrying, they may never find that car.
Say there were 3 girls in
Right there.
All right, now let's hear your story about how it happened.
It wasn't our fault, sir.
Yeah?
We were the first ones on the bridge, and coming along, following the tracks, and they wanted to get around us, I guess, and they lost control when they dropped off.
You sure you didn't crowd them off?
Yeah? Not sure I want to find that car now.
With this sand and with that current, we may never find it.
Yeah, all I guess we can do is keep trying.
you all right?
How'd you get out?
Here, put this on. We better get you back to town.
What about the other girls?
I don't remember.
Is this like the one I'll be playing in Utah?
It's quite similar. I supervised the installation myself. The accident won't delay your going, will it?
No. I'm leaving this morning. There's nothing I can do here.
That's right. Well, Mary, you'll make a fine organist for that church. Be very satisfying to you, I think.
It's just a job to me.
Well, it's not quite the attitude for going into church work.
I'm not taking the vows. I'm only going to play the organ.
You want more than that? Of course, it doesn't pay much, but, well, at least it's a start. Are you driving by Benton to see your folks?
No, I can't. I must hurry. I've got to leave. I'm going to drive straight through.
Mary, it takes more than intellect to be a musician. Put your soul into it a little, okay? Good luck, Mary. Stop by and see us the next time you're in.
Thank you. But I'm never coming back.
Can I help you?
Fill it up.
All right. Have you anything else, lady?
Could you tell me what that big structure is back a few miles by the lake?
Oh, you mean the old bathhouse? That used to be a pretty ritzy place in the old days. Then the lake went down and they made a dance hall out of it. Then they put those buildings up out there and made some sort of a carnival there for a while. That's years ago, though. Just stands out there now.
I see. I have an address here of a rooming house. Could you direct me?
Oh, sure. Well, that's just right over here a little ways.
Been saving it for you since I got your letter. Could have rented it yesterday if I'd wanted.
Oh, it's fine. It's just about what I expected.
I knew you'd like it. This ain't no regular rooming house, you know. I only got you and Mr. Linden across the hall. Each room's got its own private bathroom, too. You can take all the baths you want. I'm not one to fuss about things like that.
Thank you. I think I'll be quite comfortable.
Well, hope you'll stay a while. I'm downstairs in the back part of the house, so if there's anything else you need, guess I'll have to wait till morning. Night.
Good night, Mrs. Thomas.
And this, Miss Henry, is our pride and joy.
You know this was made in the same town where I've been studying.
Of course. That's where we heard about you. Oh, by the way, you have found a place to stay.
Yes, I have a room.
Good. Well, we hope you're going to like it here. We're not the largest church in this area, of course, but we have a nice congregation. We'll have to have some sort of reception. They want to meet you.
Couldn't we just skip that?
Skip that? Well, I don't suppose it's an absolute necessity. I don't know what some of the ladies will say.
If they say I'm a fine organist, that should be enough, shouldn't it?
Well, yes, of course. We'll let it go at that for the time being. But, my dear, you cannot live in isolation from the human race, you know.
Mind if I try this now?
I want you to. Next door at the manse, if you need me. We have an organist capable of stirring the soul. What do you see?
Oh, nothing. Nothing at all. I've practiced the whole afternoon and it's gotten me in a mood.
You need some fresh air. I've got to make a call out past the lake. Would you like to come along for the ride?
You know that old pavilion out there?
Mm-hmm.
Will we pass it?
Go right by it. Stop and look at it if you like.
I would, with you along.
Good. This used to be quite a place. It's been deserted for a long time now.
Will you take me in?
My goodness, no. It isn't safe out there anymore. That's why they put up this barrier.
It'd be very easy to step around it.
What attraction could there be for you out there?
I'm not sure. I'm a reasonable person. I don't know. Maybe I want to satisfy myself that the place is nothing more than it appears to be. Would you take me out there?
No. The law has placed it off limits. Wouldn't be very seemly for a minister to break the law, would it?
No. Maybe I can come back some other time.
Shall we go along now?
That'd be you.
Good evening.
That organ playing must take a long time. You've been gone most the whole day.
I went for a long drive in the country with my new boss, an elderly minister.
Oh, that must have been a kick in the head. I learned that from my other boarder, Mr. Linden. Did you get your supper?
Oh, I forgot.
Well, this ain't no boarding house, but I got some coffee and sandwich makings left. I could bring you some up after a while.
Good. I'll be taking one of those baths you're so generous with.
Well, take as many as you want. I ain't one to make a fuss about a thing like that.
You and Mrs. Thomas.
Yeah, I wondered when you asked me in. I'm John Linden. I'm your neighbor right across the hall.
Oh, nice to meet you. Would you excuse me?
Hey, I'm just wondering if you're not doing it.
Stand right there. I forgot to introduce myself. I'm Mary Henry.
Oh, yeah, I know. I heard you tell Mrs. Thomas you haven't ate anything yet, huh? Well, yeah, I just thought, being neighborly and all, see, I haven't eaten anything either. I just thought we had to ask you out to dinner.
Oh, that's very thoughtful of you, but I can't accept.
I know. We haven't met or anything yet, but I just thought living
I'm
in the same
sorry.
house.
You'll have to excuse me.
Look, there's a real nice restaurant, right down the street, and I just thought, well, I'm just kind of guy who doesn't like to eat by himself.
I've made arrangements to eat in my room tonight.
Hey, if you change your mind, you just holler. Looks kind of lonesome in here.
Good night, Mr. Linden.
Miss Henry? It's Miss Thomas.
Who's the man in the hall?
Man? Oh, you must mean Mr. Linden. He has the room across the hall.
No, I mean the other one.
There is no other. Me and you and Mr. Linden. Us three is all there is in this house.
But you must have passed him out there.
You're needing this food. Going without eating makes you jumpy sometimes. Maybe you heard the boards pop or something. These old houses creak worse than my knees.
I didn't hear him, Mrs. Thomas. I saw him.
Now, don't talk that way. I don't sleep so good as it is. It's these old houses. They're big enough so that you could hide a man in every corner. You just gotta not let your imagination run away with you.
Are you going out there?
Well, of course. There's nobody there. Now you just go and eat that sandwich I made for you. Don't drink the coffee if coffee keeps you awake.
It won't. Coffee never keeps me awake. Does the hem hang right and back?
We might change the hemline a little. The drape is just fine. Otherwise, it looks very nice.
I'm sure it isn't very chic to take the second dress, but I like it.
We alter it a little here to make it straight all the way around. There, do you want to go back to your dressing room?
Like it fine. I believe I have you deliver the dress if you don't mind. I did say I'd take it. What's the matter with her?
What's the matter with everyone?
Why don't they answer me?
What is it?
That man!
I didn't mean any harm. I just stopped to get a drink.
No. No. It was that man. That man. There was someone else there. That strange man was there.
Now look, you've had a fright. Hysteria won't solve anything. Now control yourself. Look, I'm Dr. Samuels. My office is right across the street there. You've had a shock. If you would like my assistance, I'll be glad to offer it.
Thank you. Could I come with you now?
Certainly. I'll take her over to my office. We'll see that she's all right.
It was more than just not being able to hear anything or make contact with anyone. It was as though for a time I didn't exist. As though I had no place in the world. No part of the life around me.
And then you saw this man.
Yes.
You'll excuse my back, but I wanted to get some of that written down.
I must have been talking for an hour.
Anything else? Anything you haven't told me?
That's all there is. That's the whole story. He's been following me. That's all there is to it.
It isn't that simple, though, is it?
What do you mean?
He could hardly have been in the park this afternoon, or one of us men would have seen him. And that night in the hallway, you said yourself the landlady came up a minute later, and she didn't see him, did she?
What are you driving at?
It's been less than a week since you were in a car that crashed into the river. How you got out of that, no one seems to know. But that experience must have been a serious emotional shock.
You think I imagined all of it, don't you? You think I'm insane?
I didn't say that. I don't mean that.
I'm a competent person. If anything, I'm a realist. I'm not given to imagining anything.
Hogwash. All of us imagine things. Have you never heard two men talking behind your back and imagined they were talking about you? Have you never imagined you saw someone you knew and walked up to them and found they were a perfect stranger?
I don't see what this has to do with it.
The point is this. Our imaginations play tricks on us. They often misinterpret what we see and hear. Do you agree?
I suppose so.
If that can happen in ordinary times, go a step further. Look what can happen in a high fever or following a serious emotional shock.
Doesn't seem possible that I could have imagined all of it.
Does this man, this figure, resemble anyone you've ever known? An acquaintance? Or your father?
No.
You have a boyfriend here or back home?
No, and I have no desire for one.
Never?
No. I'm surprised to find myself saying that. But it's true. I have no desire for the close company of other people.
Have you always felt this way?
I don't know.
Don't you want to join in the things that other people do? Share the experiences of other people?
I don't seem capable of being very close to people. I do feel that perhaps I am trying to reach out for those other things.
Do you feel guilty wanting them?
I don't understand you.
I'm not a psychiatrist, and perhaps I'm being clumsy at all this. But I am suggesting that perhaps this figure represents a guilt feeling.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
Maybe. Frankly, I don't know.
Well, I know one thing. My imagination is playing tricks on me. I'm going to put a stop to it.
You're a very strong-willed person, aren't you?
I survived, if that's what you mean.
That old pavilion out by the lake. Somehow you associate it with all this, don't you?
I could go out there. I could put an end to that, too. I could go out
Now,
there.
don't be hasty.
If it is all my imagination, I could put a stop to it.
Maybe, but at least someone should be with you. Now, I can't
As you
possibly
say,
get away
Doctor,
now.
I'm a person of strong will. And the time to go out there is now. And if I have to, I can go alone.
Say, I don't want to get turned down again. I was thinking asking you out to dinner.
I stopped for a bite to eat on the way in. Anyway, I have to practice at the church this evening.
Well, look, how's about if I pick you up afterward and go someplace and dance or something?
I'm sorry. I'm not much for dancing.
Hey, you mind if I ask you a question?
I won't know until I hear it.
What, are you afraid of men?
No, I'm not afraid of men.
Well, you seem sort of cold. This morning when I brought you the coffee, friendly.
This morning I needed company.
Well, maybe you'll need company tonight. It's better than walking home alone.
Yes, it is. I should be finished around 9. Will that be all right?
That's okay by me. Say, I'll see you in church, huh?
Profane, sacrilege. What are you playing in this church? Have you no respect? Do you feel no reverence? And I feel sorry for you and your lack of soul. This organ, the music of this church, these things have meaning and significance to us. I assume they did to you. But without this awareness, I'm afraid you cannot be our organist. In conscience, I must ask you to resign. That does not mean that I am abandoning you, nor should you turn your back on the church. There is help here, and I urge you to accept it.
Well, hi there. I've been waiting an awful long time for you. My car's just over there. I know just the right place to go.
What's the matter? Don't you drink either?
Not really.
Not really. How else is there if you don't drink really? Answer me that. Now, me, I not only drink really, I really drink. What's the matter? Do you like the music either?
I like it fine.
You don't like it. You don't like to dance, and you don't like to drink. You don't like for a man to hold you close. That's it, isn't it?
I didn't say that.
You haven't said anything all evening. Why not go play that song again? You like it so much.
Hey, Johnny, who's the doll?
Nobody you know, chicken.
Oh, come on now. You've been holding out on me. That's not the kind of pig you usually drag around.
Hey, you quit licking your chops. She's out of your class.
You want to bet?
Lay off, huh? I got something on the stove there, man.
Well, listen, I'll help you put it over.
I don't want her to think I even know creeps like you.
Good luck.
Meet someone you know?
Yeah. He's a college fella. He told me about this girl that's been wanting to meet me. Wanted me to meet her.
What'd you tell him?
I said, how could I? You're my date, you know. Said you didn't seem to enjoy my company much.
Oh, that's not true. I really appreciate your taking me out this evening. I'd had a miserable night if you hadn't.
Forget it. Come on, here. Join the party. Drink up. Look, I paid good money for that stuff. It ain't poison.
I'm sorry if I annoy you.
You know, I don't get you. First you stand me off. Well, that's okay. That's class. Figure you got something, you just hold 'em back. Now, everything I say is okay. You're a mouse.
Yesterday, I didn't care. Tonight, I want to be with you.
Me or just with anybody?
With you.
Why don't you thaw out, Look, maybe you want to be alone, huh? I'll leave you alone if that's what you want.
I like being with you, really I do. I don't want to be alone tonight. I want to be near you.
You mean that?
Yes.
So why don't you and me get out of here, huh? You know, my room's only a couple of feet from yours. Ain't likely to get very far from me, are you?
No, gee.
We'll wake Mrs. Thomas.
That old girl is in the back of the house. She won't hear nothing. Honey, you don't want to go in there all by yourself, do you? It's dark and it's lonely in there. You don't have to be alone tonight. Just let me come in a while. Let me stay with you, huh? Look, you don't want to be alone, do you?
No. I'm sorry.
Look, honey. You asked me in, you dislike me a little, huh? Hey, what's the matter with you? What's going on around here? What's the matter with you?
Ben's after me. You gotta stop him. He's after me again.
I'm getting out.
Now you have to go.
Not me, sister. That's just what I need. Get mixed up with some girl who's off her rocker.
I don't want to be left alone.
What'd you find out, Doctor?
Not very much, I'm afraid.
I'm sure glad you just happened around. I was going to call somebody, but I was afraid I'd have to pay the bill.
I came on purpose. I've been thinking about her ever since she left my office yesterday. What's she been up to?
Only the devil knows that. I heard her moving things all around that room all night. Never heard such goings on. And she wouldn't let me in her room this morning.
She's a strange one. She absolutely refuses my help. I can't say that I blame her. There's something about her that completely baffles me. I've urged her to call upon me if she feels she needs help, and I hope she will.
I can't let her stay in this house.
You won't have to worry about that. She's determined to leave the city, and she wants to get away as soon as possible.
I hope she does leave.
I hope she can.
Decided to leave, did you? Where you going? I can't refund none of your week's rent when you go off like that.
Sounds like your transmission. Can you pull it up on the rack? Okay, fine.
Will it take long?
Well, I have to check it first. Would you like to get out?
Yeah, I just sit here.
Sure. Suit yourself.
When is the next eastbound bus? When does the next bus leave? I must get on it. I want to get out of here. I want to get away from here.
Eastbound bus. Now loading. Gate 9.
Rosa, wait. Wait. Let me in. You gotta let me in. I gotta get on that train. I gotta get away from here. Please. Please. You'll hear me. You can hear me. Why can't I hear anything? Will you help me? I need your help. Just a moment, please. Why can't anybody hear me? Came to you, Doctor, because you're my last hope. If you don't help me, I'll have to go back there. He's trying to take me back somewhere. Doctor, you've got to tell me what to do.
The car's still over there. And then the footprints leading up to here. And then nothing.
Ha 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 ha!